In today's video, we're tackling the #1 wealth killer that often goes unnoticed, but can have a massive impact on your wealth building journey. It's a cash guzzler that can really dampen your efforts to save, invest, and achieve financial freedom. But lucky for you, you have the Curious Compounder to teach you about this wealth killer and keep you on track for financial freedom. But before we dive into this topic, please check out the description below for some of the best books that have helped me on my financial journey. By clicking on any of the links below to purchase a book, you also support this channel so that I can continue to make videos you love. Now, buckle up and let's dive into the heart of this critical topic. The silent drain on your wealth. Can you take a guess at what the most insidious wealth killer might be? Here's a clue. It's an expense that varies significantly from person to person, making it a stealthy yet ubiquitous presence in our lives. The answer? Transportation. Cars, in particular, are a massive drain on our finances. This is largely because society often equates success with owning a luxurious vehicle. As a result, many people end up purchasing cars that are far more extravagant than what their budgets can comfortably handle, all in the name of maintaining a certain status. During my research for this content, I unearthed a startling truth. Cars are significantly eroding our ability to build wealth. It's a common scene. Friends and family celebrating a shiny new car purchase. While it's heartwarming to see loved ones enjoying a sleek new ride, the financial ramifications of this decision often go unnoticed. It's a widespread practice, so the severe impact it has on our finances tends to fly under the radar. The current landscape. Fast forward to 2023, and used car prices are climbing once again. In January alone, they rose by 2.5% month over month. Alarmingly, in the fourth quarter of 2022, 15.7% of individuals who financed a new car committed to a monthly payment exceeding $1,000, setting a new record high. Adding to this frenzy, dealers continue to apply staggering markups on in-demand vehicles. For instance, I recently came across a Porsche with a markup of $250,000, nearly equaling the car's original price. To put the cherry on top, consider this. According to AAA, in 2022, the average annual cost to own and operate a car stood at $10,728. Take a moment to process that figure. It's a substantial chunk of change. Honda Civic, a closer look at costs. Let's delve into the real expenses associated with owning a car, and I'll share my strategies for minimizing costs in each category. Take, for example, the 2018 Honda Civic. The true cost to own this model over a 5-year period is $43,993, which averages out to nearly $8,800 annually. I selected the Honda Civic for a reason. It's generally considered an economical choice, not overly expensive, and certainly not a flashy luxury car that many young people might dream of. Yet, even this modest vehicle comes with a significant price tag. To put this into perspective, consider that the average American salary hovers around $54,000 per year. Owning a used car like this could mean that 16% of your gross salary is dedicated to car expenses alone. This can be a major roadblock on your path to building wealth, especially if it leads to living beyond your means. Now, I'm not suggesting that owning a Honda Civic is inherently extravagant. In fact, it's a fairly sensible choice for many. However, it's crucial to recognize the substantial costs involved, which may be higher than you initially thought. Breaking down the numbers. Let's dissect these costs further. Depreciation stands as the largest expense for a Honda Civic owner. A staggering 99% of cars will lose value over time due to wear and tear, a process known as depreciation. This is a key reason why I believe pouring money into a car can be a financial misstep. The moment you invest in a car, you're essentially locking your money into a depreciating asset. In simple terms, you're placing your funds into something that is virtually guaranteed to lose value. To mitigate this, I strongly advise against buying a brand new car. It's a well-known fact that a new car becomes used the instant it leaves the dealership, and the value drops by 10 to 15% immediately. Examining car depreciation curves reveals that different models depreciate at varying rates. The optimal time to buy a car tends to be when it is 3 to 5 years old, At this stage, the bulk of depreciation has already occurred, yet the car is generally still in good enough condition to avoid frequent maintenance and repairs. In my view, the sweet spot for car buying is a vehicle that is 3 to 4 years old with mileage between 30,000 and 40,000 miles. Targeting this range can lead to significant savings on depreciation, allowing you to own a reliable car without the steep initial drop in value. Navigating taxes and fees. The second major expense category for the Honda Civic, or any car for that matter, is taxes and fees. Unfortunately, this is a cost that is nearly impossible to avoid. Every car you own will come with its own set of taxes and annual registration fees. For families with multiple vehicles, a potential cost-saving strategy is to simply reduce the number of cars in the household. While this may sound straightforward, it can be a challenging adjustment. Consider a family with 3 or 4 cars, but only 2 or 3 drivers. Eliminating even one unnecessary vehicle can result in significant annual savings on registration fees alone. Understanding financing costs. Financing is another significant aspect of car ownership costs, referring primarily to the interest payments that come with car loans. Few people can afford to pay the full price of a car up front, which often leads to financing a significant portion of the car's cost. Interest rates are notably high in the current market, continuing to rise steadily. For those with good credit, the interest rate on a car loan might range between 6 and 6.5%, but it can be even higher for those with less than stellar credit. Given these conditions, I would generally advise against financing a new car at this time, and instead consider a more affordable, slightly older model. Fuel, the hidden monthly expense. Whether you finance, lease, or own your car outright, fuel is a recurring cost that many people tend to overlook. When calculating monthly car expenses, it's easy to focus solely on the loan payment, which might be $500 or $600. However, it's essential to remember to factor in fuel costs, which can be substantial. For the Honda Civic, the 5-year fuel cost stands at $12,807, translating to an additional $2,561 annually, or roughly $200 per month, based on an assumption of 15,000 miles driven per year. To mitigate these costs, consider a Costco membership. Fuel is often cheaper at Costco gas stations, potentially saving you $5 to $8 per fill-up. Over time, these savings can accumulate significantly. Alternatively, an electric car might seem like a viable solution, but they are currently quite expensive and may not be feasible for everyone. While the future likely holds a shift towards electric and more fuel-efficient vehicles, for now and the foreseeable future, fuel remains a significant and unavoidable expense for car owners. Plus, with gas prices trending upwards, this is a cost that is likely to increase in the coming years. Smart insurance strategies. For the Honda Civic, insurance costs are estimated at $6,949 over 5 years, or an additional $115 per month. A valuable tip for managing this expense is to set a yearly reminder to review your insurance rates. On this date, call your insurance provider and inquire about potential savings or discounts. If they can't offer a better rate, it's time to shop around. Companies like State Farm, Progressive, and Geico may provide equal coverage at a more competitive price. Insurance companies are keen to secure long-term customers, making them likely to offer enticing rates to win your business. This strategy isn't limited to car insurance. Consider applying it to your utility bills as well. DIY repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance are inevitable costs of car ownership, but they can be managed with a little know-how. Thanks to the wealth of tutorials available online, learning basic car maintenance is more accessible than ever. For instance, changing your car's oil isn't a complex task. By watching a simple tutorial, such as those by Chris Fix on YouTube, you can learn to change your oil and save between $100 and $150 on labor each time. Consider this. Cars generally need an oil change every 3,000 miles. If you drive 15,000 miles a year, that's 5 oil changes annually. If you're 30 years old now and plan to drive until you're 75, that's potentially 45 years of oil changes, or roughly 225 in total. For simplicity, let's estimate 200 oil changes over your lifetime. At a savings of $100 each, that's a potential $20,000 saved just by investing a little time in learning a new skill. AutoZone, your check engine light ally. When your check engine light illuminates, it doesn't necessarily mean an immediate trip to the dealership. Retailers like AutoZone offer free diagnostic tools that can identify the issue. They use an OBD2 scanner to read your car's computer and pinpoint the problem, allowing you to make an informed decision about the next steps. For added convenience, consider purchasing your own OBD2 scanner online. This tool empowers you to diagnose your car's issues independently, potentially saving you significant money and stress over the long term. Final thoughts: the power of going car-free. My ultimate tip? Consider living without a car. Imagine the savings from avoiding the average annual car ownership cost of $10,768. Instead, what if you invested that money in yourself or the stock market? Check out my video on compound interest if you'd like to learn about what you could turn this into. Another strategy is choosing to live closer to your workplace. Many people endure lengthy commutes, which not only consume time, but also lead to substantial car expenses, including fuel, maintenance, and depreciation. If living closer to work means higher rent, say an extra $200 per month, it's worth calculating whether this cost outweighs the savings on commuting expenses and the value of your time. For example, paying $200 more in rent to live near your workplace could save you significantly in fuel, maintenance, and wear and tear on your car. Plus, it grants you precious time that would otherwise be spent commuting. To end, as car prices continue to rise and societal pressures to keep up with the Joneses persist, resist the urge to own a car that stretches your budget. If you do so, you could be making the best financial decision of your life. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. As always, stay calm and compound on.